the air?
Do I have everybody's attention now? Do I have everybody's attention now?
Don, I got you.
Do I have everybody's
Sunday
attention
night.
now?
You put them cameras on me, then you must be willing to get that heart touch. This a must-see feeling. The news ain't good, then it must be villain. So I say a tag grounded, I don't trust these ceilings. Spread across your nose, and I'm on your ear. Highest necks on the cloud. Hammer in the air, Sunday nights, prime time. I flex mine better, Voltron transform to DX Don Mega. And off scene, you probably think I'm nice, cause I flow like a stream to your wireless device. And the smoke full of steam on any given night. I'll short like a piece of any given slice. And for the latest and what is best about, I tune in and tune the rest out, Don. You gotta tell them, am I in the clear? Is this thing on? Am I on the air? On the air.
Well, what is going down, everybody? Welcome back to another brand new edition of Am I on the Air? I am your host, Don Mega, and I welcome you to the show. We are broadcasting live from the Red Dragons radio studios here in lovely Tucson, Arizona on this Tuesday night. Yes, it is January the 28th, 2020. Tonight, it's season 20, episode 4. And tonight's show title is Be Gentle, Man. So, once again, welcome to the show. Tonight, I got some reviews for you. We're going to talk about The Gentleman. That's right, the new Guy Ritchie movie. I saw Bad Boys for Life for the second time. And, of course, we're going to get you caught up with all the latest and greatest in the world of entertainment news, reviews, everything in between from the last week. All right? This is your weekly one-stop shop. So if you haven't heard last week's show, go back, check it out. That show was titled For Life, and it was a great episode there. But now we are here tonight for Be Gentle, Man, and it's time to get a rockin' and rollin'. Before I get going, I do got a shout-out because, number one, we did finally drop the very special Am I Still on the Air? That's right, it was our second Am I Still on the Air episode of 2020 already. The month's not even over, and we've already done 2 Am I Still on the Airs. I think that's pretty damn good. So, of course, we have our Rise of Skywalker spoiler review, but the new episode that we dropped last week is our coveted top 10 countdown of 2019, and then our top 10 most anticipated of 2020. That's right. Every year we bring you this very special podcast. I had my boys Friggins and Peeps on, as I always do, and we all three of us counted down our top 10 movies of last year. And then we looked forward to this year and said, here's our top 10 of what we think we're going to like this year in 2020. So it was a great episode. It is just one episode. It has both the countdown and the most anticipated on the same show. It is long. It's a little over 2 hours long. So I'm not gonna steer you into something unprepared. But you know what? It could be a great podcast to get you through the week, stay up with where you left off, and then continue on each day till you get through it. But I think you'll enjoy it. I think you'll have a good time hearing the differences between everybody's list. And I think our anticipated list, we're way off between the three of us. So it's very interesting to see where everything landed. But check that out, because that episode came out last week after we had already done the latest episode of Am I on the Air. So this is the first show back that we're doing that I can actually promote it. So I'm sure you guys have seen the tweets or you've seen it on social media, but I wanted to give that verbal shout out right now. If you haven't checked out that episode, it's doing very well. It actually has outperformed the last episode of Am I on the Air? So, you know, that's the sacrifice I make every time we drop an Am I Still on the Air. It always seems to overshadow the previous episode of Am I on the Air? And it's a spin-off episode, guys. Come on, you got to show love to both episodes. But hey, you know, if you haven't listened to it yet, go back, check out Am I Still on the Air? Top 10 movies of 2019 and top 10 most anticipated of 2020. It's available on amiontheair.com. Click on the Am I Still in the Air page, and same thing on Red Dragons Radio. If you go to that website, just click on the tab that says Am I Still on the Air? And of course, it's going to be in your feed on all the other podcast outlets. Okay? Speaking of podcast outlets, I also do want to take some time to shout out a new podcast website that we are now affiliated with and our show is streaming on. So just when the list couldn't get any bigger, it has now grown one more. There's a new website called Podchaser, and it's actually a very, very nice website. I was just getting used to this thing earlier today, and I gotta tell you, man, I love our page on Podchaser. So Am I on the Air is now available there, along with probably most of all your other favorite podcasts. And if you go to our page, you can leave a rating. You can rate up to 5 stars. You can actually rate each individual episode, which I find very, very cool because there's no way to do that really on any other platform. So you can rate each episode whatever you want, which I love. It'll show recent episodes. It shows best episodes. It gives a shout out to our host site, Buzzsprout, and it also gives you a pretty cool get 90 days free and a $20 Amazon gift card link to sign up if you want Buzzsprout, because that's what we're hosted on. It's got our official website link. It's got our RSS feed. But what I really love about this website is it actually has podcast details on it, unlike any other site. It has when we started, which was September 1st, 2013. Oh my God. I've been doing this for a goddamn long time. September 1st, 2013. Latest episode, of course, was our last episode, which dropped on January 22nd, which was the For Life episode. And then it says what's our release period, which is weekly. We drop episodes every week. Number of episodes. We currently have 284 episodes. Woo! Man, putting in work. Average episode length is about an hour. So I love that it gives all these details. It's very, very cool. There's hashtags that bring you to our page, like TV, entertainment news, movie reviews, movies. So it just has a lot going for it on this page. You can see all our artwork that goes along with the show titles. The mobile version's great, easy way to share it. You can recommend the podcast by email address. I mean, it just breaks down so many cool things. You can add it to a list. So if like you want to make a list of podcasts that do entertainment news like mine, you can make a list for that. If you love, political news, you can make a list for that. So I like the way you can categorize it. This site's pretty damn awesome. And now Am I on the Air is on it. Podchaser. Just go to Podchaser, PodChaser.com. And you could just in the search bar, just type in Am I on the Air, and you'll see it pop up. But I love it. It looks cool, and I'm proud to be on another platform as we move forward trying to grow this show right here. Okay, so with those shout outs out the way, let's get the show started, guys. All right. The new movie of the week that I saw was The Gentleman, and this is the new Guy Ritchie movie. This is got Matthew McConaughey. It's got Charlie Hunnam, Henry Golding, Colin Farrell, Hugh Grant, Michelle Dockery. Really, really cool cast. I love the trailers for this thing. Like I said, directed by Guy Ritchie. This is his big return to form kind of movie after coming off of Aladdin last year. And overall, I enjoyed it. I did not love this movie, and I had a feeling as we got closer to watching it that I wouldn't love it because I'm not a very big Guy Ritchie fan, to be honest. Like, I know there's such a big, loyal, love fan base for movies like Snatch and Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels and Rock and Rolla, movies like that, and I honestly am not a fan of any of those. I like Guy Ritchie's style, but sometimes the whole heavy British thing is just too much for me. Everybody's called a C word, and there's so much cussing going back and forth, and I love the violence, but like overall sometimes it's just too much, and at times that's what I felt like with this movie. What I will say about it is I love what Matthew McConaughey did in it. He is fantastic in the movie. I'm not a big Matthew McConaughey fan at all. at all, really. I mean, sometimes I like him in certain projects, but overall, he's not my cup of tea. But I will tell you, in this movie, I loved him, and he was the best thing for the whole movie for me. I thought Charlie Hunnam was great. I thought Colin Farrell was great. Even Hugh Grant was really, really funny. The brief synopsis of this movie is simple. It's just an American expat tries to sell off his highly profitable marijuana empire in London, triggering plots, schemes, bribery, and blackmail in an attempt to steal his domain out from under him. So, pretty simple process here. He's wealthy, he's got a real cool thing going, and everybody else wants to get to him. Plain and simple, right? So, really good action, some pretty good humor throughout. But the end of the day, I just gave this thing 3 out of 5 stars. It was good. I even battled doing a 2-star at one point, but the acting was so good, and I did enjoy a lot of the humor, so I bumped it to a 3. But, this is what I say, a lot of times I say, hey, if you watch the trailer and you like it, you're going to like this movie. What I'll say with this movie, plain and simple, if you're a fan of Guy Ritchie and you're a fan of those movies that I just talked about, like Snatch, Lock, Stock, so forth, you're going to love this movie. Plain and simple. You're going to love this. If you're not a fan of those movies like me, you're going to think this is just okay, or you're not going to like it. Plain and simple. So take that for what it is. I'll tell you, like my brother-in-law, for example, is a Guy Ritchie fan. He loves everything Guy Ritchie does, and especially loves all those movies I mentioned. So guess what? He saw The Gentleman over the weekend, and he said, oh my God, that movie was amazing. One of the best movies I've seen in years. Of course, because he's a Guy Ritchie fan. I was like, yeah, I liked it, but not as much as you. So it is what it is. I think you'll enjoy it if you're down for a Guy Ritchie movie. If you're not, don't waste your time. Okay? So that's my quick review of The Gentleman, 3 out of 5 stars. And then I also went back and I watched Bad Boys for Life for a second time, and I just want to say I love this movie. I loved it even more the second go around than I did the first go around. The movie's endearing. It has a great heart. I love seeing Will Smith and Martin Lawrence together. They're the best cop duo that we got. I love it. I love their chemistry. I love bringing in the new Ammo team. Everything that went down in this movie, especially on second viewing, worked for me. And I just absolutely love this film. It was in my top 10 most anticipated. So it's funny on the podcast when we got to that, we had already seen the movie, but me and Friggins both had it on our list. So it just goes to show you, and the movie's doing great business. It's making a lot of money, and I'm just glad people are going out and supporting it. So I just wanted to give a quick shout out to Bad Boys for Life because I just loved it so much on my second go around there. Okay, so there you go. Let's switch gears. Let's get into our news of the week. Netflix continues to drop some amazing movies with some real big actors, and next up is Mark Wahlberg. That's right, Mark Wahlberg in a movie directed by Peter Berg, the guy who always does movies with Mark Wahlberg. So this is some big stuff. It's going to be on Netflix, and it's called Spencer Confidential. It's an action comedy, and the new trailer dropped. It's with Mark Wahlberg and Winston Duke, who of course was in Black Panther. He was in Us. And this trailer is great. The movie comes out in February on Netflix, and I'm super, super stoked. This is going to be a big one for Netflix, and I am all about it. Visible. We have the trailer for this. This is a new Apple TV Plus documentary series. It's a 5-part documentary series about people coming out of the closet. So, pretty big deal there. We have your 2020 Screen Actors Guild Awards winner list that you can check out if you're interested. We have the news that Mythic Quest, Raven's Banquet, which is a new show starring Rob McElhenney from Always Sunny in Philadelphia. This is a new show that's actually not even out yet. It comes out soon on Apple TV Plus. Looks really, really funny, by the way. I can't wait to check this one out. It's been given an early Season 2 renewal over on Apple TV Plus, so they're already getting ready for Season 2, and we don't even have Season 1 yet. I always find that super funny, but it shows you the faith that they have in the project. The Merovingian is returning for The Matrix 4. That's right. Remember him? He was awesome in the original Matrix trilogy, and he is back for one more go-round. So he is coming back for Matrix 4. Steven Spielberg's Amazing Stories reboot is coming to Apple TV Plus, and it will premiere later this year. So that is pretty awesome right there. I'd love to see Apple TV Plus really starting to beef up their production, because I subscribed on day one, and I'm like, man, there's really not much here, and it's getting better and better and better as the weeks go on, and they're really starting to put a lot of projects into it, so I am all about that. Simon Pegg officially returning from Mission Impossible 7, so that is fantastic. Going back to Apple TV Plus, guess what? Chris Evans even has a new show coming out on Apple TV Plus. It's going to be called Defending Jacob, and that's going to debut in April on Apple TV Plus. So that's going to be a pretty cool mini-series there based on the book. So I'm all about that. It looks like the Bad Boys for Life directors might actually be signing on to do Beverly Hills Cop 4. They say they want to do it. It sounds like the studio wants it, especially after the success of Bad Boys for Life. So we might be seeing them move forward on that project, which I think will be awesome. Julian Fellows is set to pen the Downton Abbey sequel after he just wrote The Gilded Age. Patrick Stewart has officially met with Kevin Feige about possibly joining the MCU. This was incredible news to me when it came out last week, that he said Kevin Feige met with him and asked him what was his thoughts on returning as Professor X, but in the MCU. Patrick Stewart's a little shy on returning to the character. He feels that the way he went out in Logan was a perfect wrap to his character, and he doesn't know if coming back is the way to go. I'm very, very shocked by this, because I never in a million years would have thought that Kevin Feige would have wanted to bring anybody from the Fox era of X-Men over to the MCU. So I find that very, very interesting that he would have talked to him about Professor X. I could see them having a meeting to try to get him to do something else in the MCU. But that's what Patrick Stewart's saying, so I'll take his word for it. But yeah, we're not holding our breath at this point. We have the second trailer for Snowpiercer, which is the new upcoming TV series version of the movie that they're doing, of the sci-fi series, is coming to TNT in a couple months. Watchmen actor Jeffrey Dean Morgan may appear in season 3 of The Boys, which I am all about, man. I love The Boys. Season 2, I think, just wrapped filming, and we're already talking about season 3. I love the excitement there. Jeffrey Dean Morgan is awesome in anything he does, so an addition for season 3 would be great. It's still currently unclear whether Steve Carell will be back for the morning show second season. That's right. He is not contracted to do the second season. So we'll see what ends up happening there. You know, I do watch the morning show. I can see them doing another season without him. He's not a super big point to have on the show. They could reference him without having him there. But I guess we'll see. I mean, the show's better with him, no doubt, because I love Steve Carell, and when he does pop up on the show, it makes sense and it's better. But I can see them getting around it if they have to. But as of right now, he's not locked in. Black Lightning original cast member Damon Gupton is out ahead of season 4. That's right, he is leaving the show before they move into season 4. Doolittle continues to burn a lot of money at the box office. This movie is bombing so hard that it actually opened to less money than Eddie Murphy's Dr. Dolittle and Dr. Dolittle 2 in 1998 and 2001, even without adjusting for inflation, which is mind-blowing. So, you know, hey, I like the Eddie Murphy versions, but I was not a fan of this Dolittle with Robert Downey, and people are just not going to it at all. When we did the last show and we talked about the box office, Bad Boys for Life was number 1 over the Martin Luther King weekend with an estimated $69 million. When the final numbers came out, it was actually $73.4 million over the 4-day weekend. So congratulations, man, blowing away expectations, making, you know, many million over what was expected at the time. So 73.4, fantastic. Leonardo DiCaprio confirms that himself and Robert De Niro will star in Martin Scorsese's next movie. So that is no shocker there. Martin Scorsese, why not? That's the same old people. Justice League Dark. It looks like J.J. Abrams and his Bad Robot Company have boarded the DC Comics project. This is a movie that's been in the works for a long time and it never really gets anywhere. But now it looks like JJ and his Bad Robot production company are going to work on Justice League Dark for not only a movie, but it says they're also going to do TV projects. So that's very interesting there too. What an interesting project for him to jump right into. And we'll see where it goes. That's about all the news we have right now on it. But we'll see where it goes moving forward after that. HBO Max has greenlit a new animated comedy called The Prince from Gary Janetti. David Leitch is set to direct a live-action remake of 1972's Kung Fu, the series. Marvel TV and Marvel Hulu have unveiled the cast for the animated series for Marvel's MODOK. That's right, MODOK, which is going to have... Patton Oswalt is going to be MODOK, so that's really cool right there. I love Patton Oswalt. Always a great addition to anything that you have. But they have also added Sam Richardson, Ben Schwartz, Wendy McClendon-Covey, who I love, and Amy Garcia to the voice cast, so that is awesome. And of course, like I said, they're joining executive producer Patton Oswalt, who's also voicing MODOK himself. So that is coming later this year to Hulu. MODOK, the supervillain. That's right. So that's going to be interesting, man. I don't know how they're going to pull that one off, but I love the cast. This I am also a very big fan of. Finally coming to Netflix next month. Altered Carbon Season 2. I love Altered Carbon Season 1. That show is so fantastic. It's a show whenever somebody says to me, what do you recommend I watch on Netflix? I go to Altered Carbon. I love it. Season 2, I've been waiting for it because Season 1 was like 2 years ago. And I'm like, give me my second season. This season with Anthony Mackie in the lead, taking over for Joel Kinnaman. And yes, it finally comes out. No trailer yet. All we know is the release date, and it's the end of February. And I am super, super stoked. I can't wait to see a full trailer for this thing. Thank you, Netflix, for Altered Carbon Season 2. Let's go. Going back to The Matrix 4, it's unfortunate, but Hugo Weaving will not be returning as Agent Smith. Let me tell you something, Mr. Anderson. Mr. Mega, I will not be returning for The Matrix 4. So it's a bummer. I was kind of always expecting Agent Smith to pop up in Matrix 4, and it looks like at one point they were pretty close to him coming back, but he has another project that he's doing and the dates just don't match up, so unfortunately they're moving on without him. Red Notice has officially begun filming the new action comedy film that's going to be coming to Netflix as well, starring Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, Gal Gadot, and Ryan Reynolds. So I am super excited for Red Notice and can't wait for that one to drop. Netflix has acquired the rights to Bradley Cooper's Leonard Bernstein film. This is his next directorial movie after coming out with A Star is Born. Frozen 2 is officially coming out on digital and Blu-ray within the next 2 months. So, get your buy on for your kiddies there. Liev Schreiber says that the future of Ray Donovan is up to Showtime. So the show has not been renewed or canceled at this point. So we don't know, and neither does Liev. I'm a big fan of Ray Donovan. I watched this show since its beginning. I just finished the latest season a couple weeks ago. I'd be okay with it ending at this point. I feel like they've done everything they need to do. And now the show's not really fun to watch anymore. Everybody's very drear and drab and sad, and my life sucks. And there's only so much of that you can watch before you're just like, this is boring. And that's kind of where Ray Donovan's at right now. Liev Schreiber is so unlikable as this character now. I used to love Ray Donovan as a character. But in the last couple of seasons, I'm just like, oh my God, dude, smile. Fucking be nice for a second. So, yeah. So, I'm down if they renew it, but I'm also down if they cancel it at the same time. And that's coming from a diehard fan. We have your first trailer for Star Wars The Clone Wars Season 7 coming to Disney+. We have the first trailer for Horse Girl, which is a new Alison Brie Netflix movie that's coming. The Hunger Games prequel novel is set to focus on a young President Snow. The Falcon and Winter Soldier is currently filming, and we have your first look photos at Wyatt Russell as U.S. Agent, which he looks really cool and looks a lot like Captain America. And in the set photos, he's even got the shield, so I'm like, ooh, what's going on here? It's going to be interesting to see how this plays out in the show. We have your trailer for Pokemon Mewtwo Strike Back Evolution. We have the second trailer for the Rhythm section, which actually comes out in theaters this Friday. 911, the original series, not the spinoff, is talking about Connie Britton returning. She's going to have some unfinished business with Buck. I love 911. It's going to be nice to see Connie Britton come back for some episodes. RuPaul and J.J. Watt are set to host future episodes of SNL in February, and Justin Bieber is also set to return as a musical guest. The new Walking Dead spinoff, AMC has already set an end date for the show, which is called World Beyond. They said this show is set to be just a mini-series that only lasts for 2 seasons, and then it's done. So they're not trying to milk this one out. So I kind of appreciate them coming out the gate saying, hey, a couple seasons, and we're done. It's a contained story that they want to tell, and they're all set. Congratulations to Michael Bay's big budget action pick, 6 Underground, starring Ryan Reynolds. It was viewed by over 83 million people in its first 4 weeks on Netflix. So fantastic news there. I love 6 Underground. It made my honorable mentions, almost made my top 10 of last year. Such a really cool action movie for all those action junkies out there. So good, and I'm glad to see how well it did on Netflix. Let's see here. Give me one sec. Just looking through these notes. Fear Agent. Seth Rogen and David F. Sandberg are going to be adapting the comic book for Amazon. That's right. They're doing a lot of stuff for Amazon lately. Fear Agent is the name of the sci-fi comic that they will be adapting. Nightmare of the Wolf is going to be a new Witcher animated film that Netflix is doing. That's right. So before we get the next season, we're going to get a nice animated Witcher film called Nightmare of the Wolf. Impeachment, American Crime Story has added Billy Eichner as Matt Drudge. So Billy Eichner's awesome in anything he does, so great addition there. Rosario Dawson is set to lead Ava DuVernay's new DMZ pilot over at HBO Max. Michelle Yeoh was reportedly in talks to join Shang-Chi from Marvel Studios. She would be a great addition. Michelle Yeoh is always awesome in anything she joins up with. WandaVision writer Megan McDonnell has been hired to script Captain Marvel 2, so we're trying to move forward there. Now, the original directors of Captain Marvel are not coming back to do the sequel. It looks like they might actually be doing one of the shows for Disney Plus, and that's why, timing-wise, they can't do the second movie. So it looks like Marvel is looking for a female director to take over, but right now we have the WandaVision writer Megan McDonnell working on the script for it. Amazon Studios is developing a TV series based on James Patterson's Alex Cross series. So that's pretty cool there, based on the novels. Another novel being turned into a film is The Force. And Matt Damon is set to join in the lead, joining James Mangold, rejoining with him after Ford v Ferrari, with James Mangold directing and having Matt Damon in the main seat there for The Force. Patrick Stewart officially asked Whoopi Goldberg to join Star Trek Picard when he was on The View. So pretty cool there, and it looks like she took him up on it, and I think in Season 2, her Star Trek character will be making her re-debut, which is pretty cool there. Last week's episode of Arrow, which was a very odd episode to go with. It was kind of a backdoor pilot for a spin-off show with Green Arrow's daughter and the Canaries. And I thought it was a very odd episode to kind of put in the season because, you know, it's a heavy season. It's the last season. Green Arrow's, you know, not going to be with us anymore. And then they do this weird offshoot episode. The funny thing is, though, you all watched it in droves because it had the highest views ever for a non-crossover episode of the last couple years. So, the episode without Arrow in it was the highest episode for a non-crossover. So congratulations, the highest viewing of the whole season. So, wow. Interesting stuff there. Paramount Players is developing a feature film adaptation of the sci-fi novel Channel Blue. Channing Tatum is set to star and produce in Bob the Musical. Walt Disney Studios is working on it. It's a long in development musical comedy, so Channing Tatum will be doing that. Obi-Wan series over on Disney Plus is officially on hold as the show is being retooled. So they're working on some stuff here. Ewan McGregor says, don't fret, don't freak out. He says the show's still going to be released when it was originally set to be released. They're just holding off on filming for a little bit as they're working on some stuff to make it better. So, hey, as long as, Ewan McGregor tells me everything's all good, then I'm going to say it's all good. So, just understand that, yes, that it's been currently put on hold, but it is not canceled officially by Disney. It is not canceled. It is coming. They're just working on some stuff. Betty Gilpin is joining Sarah Paulson in the Impeachment American Crime Story. Betty Gilpin, I love. She's so great in Glow, and she's going to be great in this, so I'm very excited for her. I still think she should be She-Hulk, though, so come on, the agents need to get going on that one. Jodie Whittaker is set to return in Doctor Who Season 13, so she'll be reprising her role there. Liam Hemsworth has a new action series for Quibi. So going back to that new service Quibi, that's going to be coming soon. I think it's just called Game, but I don't know. We'll see where it goes from there. Let's see here. We have the first trailer for Wake Up, starring Margaret Qualley and Olivia Wilde. We have the trailer for Ben Affleck and Anne Hathaway's conspiracy movie, The Last Thing He Wanted. So check that out. Let's see here. Katie Seagal has been tapped for a new Erin Brockovich pilot called Rebel, and it's coming from a Grey's Anatomy executive producer. Ambitions has been canceled after one season over on the OWN network. Jim Jeffries is set to star in a new NBC comedy. Chuck Lorre has his next comedy lined up. It's going to be a kidney donor comedy, and that's going to be going to CBS like most of his shows. So always great news there. Sony is developing an Anaconda reboot. That's right, an Anaconda reboot. My Anaconda don't want none unless you got buns, hun. I love Anaconda. It's cheesy as fuck, but I just love it. Jennifer Lopez, Ice Cube, Jon Voight. Owen Wilson's in this movie before really anybody knew who Owen Wilson was. With a big ass snake. I loved Anaconda, so I'm a sucker for this. And if they reboot it, I'm down day one, man. Always to see a big snake kill some people. Jim Carrey says he might be interested in finally doing that Mask sequel. So, if he says if we get a visionary director on board, I'll do it. So there you go. Let's get a visionary director on this. Where's Denis Villeneuve, right? Disney is setting some more live action remakes. It looks like they're going to do Pinocchio and Bambi next. Oh man, Bambi's going to be a rough one, isn't it, guys? Ooh, when they do it like Lion King, oh boy. Marvel officially cancels the Howard the Duck and the Tigra and Dazzler animated series over on Hulu. This is funny because I knew this was coming. These shows that Hulu announced just sounded dumb. And I was like, really? Marvel's doing this on Hulu? This is dumb. And once Kevin Feige took over, I was like, he's not going to let this shit come out. And here we are, man. They're canceling all kinds of shows left and right. And now these two animated shows, Howard the Duck and Tigra and Dazzler, gone, man. Get them out of here. I'm surprised MODOK is still moving forward at this point. But yes, Marvel, dunzo. Noah Mills is joining the Falcon and Winter Soldier TV series on Disney+. Moon Knight series has just added the Witcher writer, Beau DeMayo. So from The Witcher, he's going to be scripting Moon Knight. So very cool there. We got an article up with Bong Joon-ho talking about new details about the HBO Parasite miniseries. So if you want to know more about that, check out our social media. Robert Zemeckis is in early talks to co-write and direct the live-action Pinocchio movie, so this is something that's been in the works for a long time. I've been hearing Robert Zemeckis' name attached to this for so long. So there you go. We talked about some leaked episode 9 stuff on last week's episode, and it turns out that all that stuff is real. Colin Trevorrow, who was going to be the original director of episode 9, had came out and said, yes, the concept art you've seen, the script, it's all me. That was what I had. So people are just like, woo, they're going all crazy knowing that, and what could have been, the duel of the fates that officially became The Rise of Skywalker. So pretty interesting. Some of the artwork is pretty cool, so I just wanted to let you know it is legit. Jason Lee says that he would love to revive My Name is Earl and return for Mallrats 2. Mallrats 2, I think, is moving forward. My Name is Earl is a fantastic show. I loved My Name is Earl, so if they could somehow bring that show back, I would be all down for that. That show was so funny. We have the first trailer for Irresistible, which is a new Steve Carell comedy. Tonight, going back to Arrow, tonight is the series finale of Arrow. And supposedly, I haven't watched the episode yet. It's on actually right now as I'm recording. David Ramsey, who plays Diggle, they've been teasing a Green Lantern thing for a long time. And he says that the final Green Lantern tease in the series finale will leave fans very happy. So that makes me very happy to hear. I can't wait to see what they do with it. I'm going to jump right on and watch this episode as soon as I'm done recording. I can't wait to see it. I've invested 8 years of my life to Arrow, so I can't wait to see how it plays out. Let's see here. What else do we got up on the docket? We have the trailer for The Undoing, which is a new Nicole Kidman HBO movie that's coming out. Matt Reeves officially announces that they are finally shooting the Batman movie. Yes, after all these years, they're finally making it. The Batman is in production. Paramount Pictures has hired 2 new screenwriters to pen 2 new Transformers movies. So I'm super stoked on this. I love the Transformers. I love the Transformer movies. And now we have 2 more in the works. Rumor has it one of them could be Beast Wars, which would be fantastic. No word yet as if this is a reboot, a soft reboot, or a continuation of the Michael Bay films. We don't know at this point. We just know that they are working on 2 new movies, so we'll see where it goes. Of course, we'll keep you posted as news comes out. Crazy Ex-Girlfriend's Aline Brosh McKenna sets a new musical comedy over at Hulu. Robert Rodriguez Red 11 and Film School documentary series land on Tubi. The Uncharted movie is officially pushed back. No shit there. As they lost another director, so there was no way the movie was coming out this year, so it's been pushed to 2021. And the Masters of the Universe movie, which keeps getting shifted back, has been officially taken off the schedule as they try to figure that one out. So, yeah. It's weird because I saw something with Noah Centineo recently, who has been cast as He-Man, and he talked about it on there, and it sounded like he was still on board and things were still moving forward. So I don't know why they would have completely removed it off the release schedule, but they're obviously having some problems. So they don't even want to date it at this point. But I think Uncharted's coming together because they only pushed the release date back like 3 or 4 months. So it's not that big of a shift. So we'll see. We'll see what happens with that one. Margot Robbie, we have a pretty cool article up with her talking about why she chose to do Birds of Prey over Gotham City Sirens. And long story short, she says Gotham City Sirens was all about characters you already know and love, like Poison Ivy, Catwoman, stuff like that. What she loved about Birds of Prey was that it was a lot of lesser known heroes and villains in the DC universe that she wanted to expose to a bigger audience, and that's why she kind of went that direction. Paul Bettany says that WandaVision will be fucking bonkers. So, I love that quote, fucking bonkers. I can't wait to see what WandaVision turns out to be. It's supposed to be out before the end of the year, so we'll see where it goes. And speaking of Marvel Disney Plus shows, it looks like Disney's Falcon and the Winter Soldier is going to be hitting the streaming service in August. So I'm very excited about that. I know a lot of people thought it was going to come out in November or December. Nope, it's coming out in August. So that's awesome, which I think makes room for WandaVision to come out like in October or November. So I am down. The Equalizer reboot with Queen Latifah has been given a green light over at CBS. They're moving forward with a pilot order. So yes, so we had the old TV show, we got the Denzel Washington movies, now we're going to have the Queen Latifah TV show coming on CBS. So I'll check it out. I like Queen Latifah. I do like the Equalizer, especially the movies with Denzel. So we'll see where the show takes us. We have your Grammy information from the Grammy Awards over the weekend. It had 18.7 million viewers. It kind of held steady with what the previous year did. Memetic. Seth Rogen is set to adapt Boom's horror graphic novel into a film. That's right. So very interesting novel to adapt. But Seth Rogen, man, starting to move away a lot from being in front of the screen to being behind it as a producer and creator. So I like it, man. Bradley Whitford is joining Lin-Manuel Miranda's Tick Tick Boom. Oh, my girl Priyanka Chopra. That's right. She is in final talks to join The Matrix 4. So she would be a great addition to that. So awesome news right there. Priyanka Chopra Jonas in final talks for Matrix 4. Redeemer, Matthew McConaughey and Nick Pizzolatto are reuniting to do a new FX drama series called Redeemer. It's going to be a new drama. Nick, of course, did True Detective Season 1 with Matthew McConaughey, so a nice repairing there. Blumhouse and Universal Pictures are looking at doing a new adaptation of The Thing. That's right. John Carpenter's The Thing. They're looking to do a new full-length version of the source material they want to do a Blumhouse spin on it. So I'm down. I like The Thing, and I'll take a new take on it. Why not? The Bad Boys for Life directors have officially met with Marvel. That's right. Adil El Arbi and Bilal Falal have met with Marvel Studios about a potential MCU project. So, hey, they did a great job with Bad Boys. Why not? Emilio Estevez is coming back to the Mighty Ducks. That's right. A Mighty Ducks revival is coming to Disney Plus, and Emilio Estevez will be there. So congratulations there. That is awesome. Another sequel that's coming that I think is really awesome. Lethal Weapon 5 looks to finally be moving forward. Mel Gibson, Danny Glover with Richard Donner all coming back for Lethal Weapon 5. Yeah, I'm all on board with that. On Friday, we will get the full official trailer for Fast and Furious 9. But today they dropped a little teaser which kind of shows a short clip from the movie. And we posted it up on our Twitter and our Facebook, so check out the little short teaser trailer that's up right now. I thought it was going to be kind of like quick glimpses of what Friday's trailer would be. It's not. This is a small little trailer with him and his kid and Michelle Rodriguez's character kind of just living life. And it was nice. It was a nice, sweet little clip. You can check that out right now. Man with a Plan Season 4 will be returning to CBS in April, along with a new sitcom called Broke. So they'll both be debuting in April. Fox orders a new drama pilot called The Big Leap from the Passage showrunner Liz Heldens. Super Bowl movie ads are going to be pretty much sitting out of the big game because they cost too damn much money. They carry a price tag of $5.6 million, and most studios are like, oh, hell no, I can just put this on YouTube and get many, many views. So don't be looking for too many big game ads at the Super Bowl this year. That is all the news that I have, but I would be remiss if I didn't let you guys know or didn't at least mention the unfortunate passing of the NBA superstar Kobe Bryant. Just a couple days ago on Sunday, his helicopter crashed and we lost Kobe Bryant and his 13-year-old daughter Gianna. And it was very, very bad. I'm not a sports fan, but I know who Kobe Bryant is. He's one of those sport figures that, like, for people like me and for most people that don't even follow basketball or anything, you know who the hell Kobe is, right? Like, I mean, that's just in our nature. When somebody throws a piece of paper into a garbage can across the room and they go, Kobe, you know what I mean? That's how much he's broke barriers and just kind of got into the normal consciousness of everybody. And unfortunately, his helicopter went down and there was 9 bodies on board and all 9 passed away. So, you know, I just wanted to show some love. It was an awkward one to do in the middle of the show, so I wanted to wait to the end to just, you know, kind of give my thoughts, my prayers. The identified people, like I said, 9 people in total, including Kobe Bryant, his 13-year-old daughter Gianna, Orange County Coast College baseball coach John Altobelli, his wife Carrie, their 13-year-old daughter Alyssa, youth basketball coach Christina Mazer, Sarah Chester, and her 13-year-old daughter Peyton, and the pilot Ara Zobian. So, craziness, man. I mean, multiple 13-year-olds that were going to a camp for his daughter. I couldn't imagine. I mean, you know, we lose him, but he loses his daughter at the same time. He's got other daughters at home with his wife, who now have to be without a father. Once again, it just goes to show you life is too damn short to hold grudges and to have fights, and just, you know, we need to tell the people that we love them and hold them tight and give them a hug, and just tell people every day how much they mean to us, because you never know when it's going to be your last. So thoughts and prayers are there. And a moment of silence. Okay, so let's that's all the news I got for you guys. Let's wrap this baby up with some of our release dates and box office stuff. So out on Blu-ray and DVD today is Terminator Dark Fate, Parasite, and Motherless Brooklyn. I love Terminator Dark Fate. I bought it on digital when it came out a couple weeks ago in 4K. I love it. This is such a good movie, so support it and give it a watch if you missed it when it was in theaters, which I know a lot of you did, so go support it now. In theaters this Friday will be The Rhythm Section and Gretel and Hansel. We're going to be checking out The Rhythm Section this weekend, so looking forward to that with Blake Lively. And here's your box office top 10. Number 10 is Knives Out with $3.7 million. Number 9 is Just Mercy with $4.1. Number 8 is Little Women with $4.7. Number 7, Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker with $5.2. Number 6 is The Turning with $7.3. Number 5 is Jumanji The Next Level with $7.9. Number 4 is The Gentleman, making its debut with $11 million at number 4. Number 3 is Doolittle with $12.5. Number 2 is 1917 with $15.8. And number 1, once again for the second week in a row, it's Bad Boys for Life with $34 million. So there you have it, my friends. We've got you right around the 45-minute mark. And that's our news for the week. So thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you for being a part of this podcast with me and getting caught up with all the latest and greatest in entertainment news. Our official webpage is amiontheair.com. Social media-wise, give us a like on Facebook, facebook.com/amiontheair. Follow us on Twitter at amiontheair. You can follow me on Twitter directly at DXDonMega. Follow me on Stardust at simply Don Mega, DONMEGA. I will follow you back. Stardust is an amazing app with video reviews, 30 seconds long. That's it. We just let you know right away, did I like it, did I not like it? 30-second mini video reviews for TV shows, movies, and trailers. So give me a follow there. I'll follow you back. Of course, Apple Podcast, subscribe, rate. I know that most of you that listen to this show do it through Apple Podcasts. So please, we could use more reviews. Take a second and just leave a 5-star review. Let people know that this is a pretty cool podcast. I appreciate the love. If you don't listen on Apple Podcasts, don't you worry. We're now on Podchaser, but we're also available on Spotify, iHeartRadio, Spreaker, Stitcher, TuneIn, Google Play Podcast. We're all over the interwebs for sure. We're always streaming on YouTube, so you can also listen on YouTube. Just go to youtube.com/amiontheair. All our episodes are on YouTube as well. No video, but you can at least listen to the audio there if you have trouble finding it anywhere else. We're on Instagram. Follow it, Am I on the Air? And, of course, our great affiliates at reddragonsradio.com. That's reddragonsradio.com. Just click on the tab that says Am I on the Air, and you can always listen to us streaming on demand there, along with a lot of other great podcasts. So that'll do it for me here tonight on this Tuesday, January the 28th. We'll be back in February with our next episode, talking some rhythm section and anything else that comes our way in entertainment news. So thank you all. Have a great week. Take care of yourselves and each other. And until next time, y'all. Peace.
Bye, everybody. Red Dragons! Red Dragons!